Hey y'all, welcome to season 2 of Ignite Podcast with Erica Pearson. So excited. This is episode 1, and tonight's episode is called Heal Sis. Um, and the subtitle of this is What Happens when Life Doesn't Turn Out the way that you want it. So, my first guest of this season is Kimya Walton. I met her on Facebook. I've known her for a couple of years. Never met her in person, but I've spoken to her on the phone. And when I tell you she is a powerful woman of God, watching her journey, watching her strength, watching her determination, how she perseveres. She is amazing. I'm so blessed and honored to have her to be the first guest of season 2. So y'all sit back and relax, get some tissue, some notes, whatever you need. But yeah, so excited. So I'm gonna bring her on. Hey,
Thank you, sis. Hey.
what's going on? We're always giggling.
Why? Why this?
What's going
I'm
on?
so weak. Oh my gosh. I don't know. I feel like I just can't wait to get done with school.
Yeah.
I just feel like I woke up this morning and I legit thought today was a school day. So I'm off Sundays and Mondays. And I literally got dressed, took a shower, made my lunch for the day, and like got all lotioned up. I woke up on time. Like I was, and then my cousin was like, today is Monday.
Right.
And I'm like, you're kidding me. It's Tuesday. It has to be Tuesday. Like it has to be Tuesday. So my mind is just kind of like all over the place. Oh my God. But I'm super excited about this episode on tonight.
Yeah, super excited. Super excited. So, Kamaya, tell us a little bit about who Kamaya is and about your
Who
journey. Yep.
Kimya is. I'm an author, I'm a speaker, um, I'm a mentor, I'm a survivor, definitely been through some things, and have been in a pretty intense process, the last couple of years. And I'm a soon to be licensed cosmetologist. I'll be graduating school February, so I'm super excited about that.
Go ahead.
Come on, new career.
Yes. Tell
So
me.
yeah, that is definitely me in a nutshell. I love God. I love kingdom work. I love kingdom building. I love, teaching. I enjoy, just giving what I have, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And sharing that with the world and with my sisters, with whoever, is in need of someone to stand in the gap. So
Yeah. So the subtitle of this episode is When Things Don't Turn Out the Way That We Thought. And I know sometimes we go through seasons, sometimes we go through situations, relationships, and we think
yeah,
it's going to happen, we think it's the one, but it turns out that it's not. So
yeah.
as a newly divorced person, what was your experience? What did you experience, and what did you learn?
Yeah. I mean, first things first, like I know who God called me to be. Like I'm not confused about that. I'm a wife.
Hmm.
Um, I'm a kingdom builder. And um when I got married, I definitely thought, like I was gonna be married like forever. Like this is it. This is it. This is the one. I don't have to worry about nobody cheating on me. I don't have to worry about nobody, doing nothing foul. Like this is my one. God sent him, right? And obviously experiencing divorce, that wasn't the case. And so it definitely did shake me. It shook me.
Yeah.
Okay, it definitely did
Mhm.
shake me, and but I've experienced rejection, I've experienced abandonment, I've experienced being gaslit, and I've experienced being feeling neglected as a wife, like just all those things in a short amount of time, and it took me a while to work through those things. It sent me into a very deep depression, because I just felt like, God, this is not looking like what you promised me. You know what I mean? Like, what's going on? Like, why are we? I remember one day I asked God, I was like, God, why so much so soon? Because
Mhm.
I was in already like in such a depression and just kind of shocked that like we were going through it the way we was. And I was just like, why so much so soon? And he's like, I had to accelerate you, so that you
Mhm.
would be able to help others. And at that time I thought, he would accelerate us, right? And so I'm praying and looking for God to heal my marriage, but God didn't heal my marriage, he healed me. And so I
Mhm.
had to become okay with that, and I had to settle into that and just say, you know what, it's gonna hurt,
Mhm.
but I got to get through it. I have to go through well. I have to pass this test, because of course this is not something that I want to go through again. You know what I mean? And I want to come out victoriously. I want to come out healed. I want to come out knowing more, you know what I mean? No more,
Mhm.
being more wise. I want to
Yeah.
come out um having gone through the soul searching, and examining myself, and just
Mhm.
processing and all of the things. So I definitely put in the work, and I've definitely been in intense process like in the last couple years, and it hurts, but it definitely is worth it, or I should say it hurt, but it definitely was worth it. And so we're here today, and I'm ready to just um continue to practice being the woman that I want to be. You know what I mean? Continue to grow into being her, So,
Yeah. What
yeah.
was your process like when you decided to let go? What was the process of that when you decided, okay, then I'm going to listen to God? And what did that process look like?
One of the things that we have to one of the things that's like one of the biggest things apart of how why can't I say this? One of the biggest parts of healing is being brutally honest with yourself. Um
Mm-hmm.
Taking accountability, and like just telling yourself the hard truths, or accepting the hard truths, and putting it where it's supposed to go. And I just, was kind of walking along that path of like telling myself the hard truths and separating the real from the fake, and not going by this what I wanted us to be, um but just looking at the facts and what we were right that at that moment. And I had to just tell myself, like, you know what, this is not what I signed up for. We don't
Yeah.
have a connection, we're not connected, you know what I mean? Like, he's not trying to be connected. And
Mm-hmm.
so I just had to make that choice, like, you're not living your fairy tale anymore. You know what I mean? This is actually bringing you down. This is dragging you down. This is causing you, to lose your mind. This is causing you anxiety. This is causing you to be depressed. This is causing you, to feel heartbroken every single day. This is causing you to have a lot of anxiety every day you come home from work. This is causing you to want to commit suicide, and so I just had to say, that's not healthy for me. That's not what God would want. You know what I mean? Yes, we go through the fire, and yes, marriages go through, but feeling depressed and feeling, full of anxiety and all of that's not God's will. That's not his idea of a marriage. And so I just kind of had to tell myself those really hard truths, and come to the conclusion, I should say, of those really hard truths, and just put my big girl panties on, and do what was best for me, because there was nobody looking out for me. There was nobody covering me. That was my husband's job, and he wasn't doing his job, so I had to take it upon myself, to do what was best for me.
Yeah. Why do you think we as women hold on to relationships that one God has released us from, or that we know it's not good for us? Why do you think we hold on to those things, to those relationships?
Um, I would say because so what I was doing, I was calling red flags orange. And
Mhm.
so whereas I should have, walked away from the relationship in the beginning, because we dated for 5 years before we got married, I should have walked away, year one, year two, when I wasn't getting what I needed out of the relationship, when he was neglecting me back then, you know what I mean? But I kind of just chopped it up as like, oh, he wasn't raised, to know how to communicate. He
Yeah.
wasn't raised, his childhood was this and that and blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. Right. And so I'm thinking I can teach him those things. I can be
Mhm.
that stable part of his life, right?
Yeah.
In adulthood. And it just didn't pan out that way. And I think one of the biggest injustices, like we as women, we don't take the red flags as red flags. We call them orange.
Mhm.
We call them yellow.
Yep.
We call them green. We turn them into green. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and it's clearly red. No, sis, you're not going to change him. You're
Yeah.
not. You're not going to change him.
Yeah.
He is what's deep down on the inside of him is deep down on the inside of him.
Yeah.
And the only way that it's going to work is if he wants to change, if he wants to be
Right.
that man. But you can't
Mhm.
count on his potential. You cannot
Mm.
count
You
on
was about to
his
say that.
potential.
Mhm.
You cannot depend on his potential to be the husband that you
Yeah.
want him to be or
Mhm.
that you need him to be. Don't ignore your needs. If your need is communication, if your need is to be bought gifts, if your need is to for a man to affirm you, that don't ignore the fact that that man is not giving you what you need.
Yeah.
Don't ignore that. You're not going to be able to change him. So
Yeah.
that's, I don't know, I think women, we do that.
Yeah.
We do that.
I- It was good that you said that because I think, I'm recently divorced too. And
Mhm.
the potential, we hold on to potential, what we think
Mhm.
that is going to be. And I think that's why we hold on so long, is because we're like, okay, well, eventually it can
Mhm.
be this. Eventually, I thought it was God. I'm going to hold
Yeah.
on to it. So I'm
Mhm.
holding on to the potential of what I assumed that it can be. And I'm trying to force something that it's really not. And
That's
so,
right.
and as women, we have to face reality. What is it now? And I think that one thing that we must ask ourselves is, if this person never changes, are we
Mm. Will
able,
you be okay
will you be
with
okay with that? Will you be able to be
yes,
okay with that
yes.
version of who they
Mhm.
are?
Mhm.
Because if they won't ever change, are you willing to compromise what you need? Are you willing to not get the communication? Are you willing to not get your needs met? We want
Mhm.
to act like superwoman and think we can change.
Right.
In reality, we cannot change them. The only
No.
person that can change them is God. Yes, God
Exactly.
can change anybody, but we also have free will.
Yeah.
We can make a decision, or they can make a decision on if they decide to change or not. But that is a
That's right.
question to ask themselves, though.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. And that's good what you said. You can't, if it ain't in them,
Yeah.
it ain't in them. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And so yeah, we can't bank our money on them changing. You know what I mean? Are
Mhm.
you gonna be happy with if he never changed?
Yep.
Are you happy with that? And that's what it really means. That's why they tell you to get to know a person, not just surface
Mhm.
stuff, not just, you know, I want to be married, you want to be married. Okay, let's do this. Like, get to know that person. And honestly,
Mhm.
I've also learned that like time is not calculated by how long it's been. We have
Mm.
to be productive with the time. We have to
Yes.
be productive. If you guys have been together for 5 years, but that time has not been
Mhm.
productive and,
Yes.
and, and intentional about getting to know each other, you can be together for 5 years like I was, and you really still don't know the person. But you
Yeah.
could also be together with someone for 5 months and
Mhm.
you know everything about this person.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? You guys are very
Mhm.
open, very vulnerable, so you have to make sure that you're being productive with your time as well.
Mhm. Intentional. Yep.
Mhm.
You gotta be
Yep.
intentional with it. I think that a lot of us, we're not productive. And the thing about marriage is that, like we said previously, marriage show you who you are, right?
Yeah.
And and when you marry somebody, not only are you marrying the good stuff, but you, whatever they struggle with,
Yeah.
you gonna be struggling with. Because as
Yes.
a wife, you have to, when your husband can't do, when he's going through battles, you got to be that woman to lift him
Yeah.
up. You got to be that woman to pray some things
Yeah.
off of him, and don't let it be kingdom, okay?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
the devil already don't like unity, but let it be
No,
who
he does
God.
not.
Let it be who God. You got to be ready, and I think a lot of women want to be wives, right?
Mhm.
But they don't really know how to be a wife. They like the title, but being a wife is not like, it's not what people think. Okay,
Mhm.
yes, you got
Mhm.
a ring. Yes, you got, but
Mhm.
it's more. You got to
Mhm.
pray. I mean, there. Listen, it's a lot,
Yeah.
but it's a beautiful thing. But a lot of women want to be wives, but we have to be intentional about doing the work. In the
You
season,
have to.
season
You
or
got to pray. You got to prepare. You got
yes,
to organize.
yes,
You got to prioritize.
yes.
It's a lot that, yeah, like you said, there's a lot. It's not just having a ring on and waking up every morning to kisses
Mm-hmm.
and going to sleep to cuddles. Like,
Yep.
it's definitely not just that. It's definitely, you definitely can't just want to be married. You have to also want to be a wife.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
That's good. That's good. So, what would you say are some of the things that you have learned about Kamaya in this process, in this journey?
I struggle with, like, I'm super super patient,
Mm,
but I struggle with waiting.
mm.
And there is a difference. Like, there is a difference. Like, I'm very patient, if you're talking to me, like, I'll explain it. If you don't understand, I'll explain it a different
Yeah,
way without getting annoyed. Like, I'm patient,
yeah.
if something goes wrong, like, I'm willing to, be chill about it. You know what I mean? I'm
Mhm.
patient, but the one thing that I do struggle with is waiting. And
Yeah,
so that's something I learned about myself, and so I'm practicing that now.
yeah,
And it is definitely difficult, but I do believe that in our waiting is where God really does mold us, and he really does, like, shape us into who we need to be,
yeah,
for the next, getting ready for the next.
yeah. What advice would you give to the woman who is struggling with letting go, and to the other woman who has let go? What advice would you give them?
I would say, honestly, like, it's hard to let go.
Yeah,
It really is hard to let go, but the sooner you let go, the sooner you get to experience joy,
yeah.
real peace, real love. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Real joy deep down on the inside.
Yes,
Just really being happy with yourself, right?
yes,
Before anyone else comes along. Like, on the
yes.
other side of letting go is all these wonderful things that you can experience along the way. It
Mhm.
doesn't have to, your life doesn't begin once you get married.
Come on.
Your
Yeah.
life absolutely can begin way before, like, it begins way before you walk down the aisle or exchange vows. It begins way before then. So I would just say, like, on the other side of letting go, there's so much more peace, so much more joy, happiness,
Mhm.
love, and understanding, and a clear mind. Those
Mhm.
are some of the things that we go through, and we don't realize that holding on is keeping us from getting to that other side. We complain, right? Oh, I'm depressed, I don't have money, I don't have this, I'm not motivated, I'm bored, I don't know my purpose. Like, all of these things we complain, but we won't let go.
Yeah.
And once you let go, on the other side of that is all of the life that God promised you, is the life
Mhm.
that you want to live,
Yeah.
right? Versus holding on to any toxicity, you know what I mean, of the life that you're currently living. So I would just say, the sooner you let go, the sooner you can get to the what God really has for you.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's so much peace in letting go. I know it's hard, especially when you think that that's you when you pray for something and you wait
Yeah.
and you waited for years,
Mhm.
because
Mhm.
you know when you wait for something, you praying for something, you seen other people get married or whatever like that, and then you finally get it.
Yeah.
It's difficult to let it
Mhm.
go or what you think
Mhm.
was supposed to be it, but
Yeah.
it's so much freedom
Mhm.
and letting go. And
Mhm.
starting over isn't it's a blessing. Being
Mhm.
able to get out of something, of something that was hurting you, something that was
Was
harming you, something
unhealthy. Yeah.
unhealthy, that was toxic, that you felt unloved, you felt rejected, all this stuff.
Mhm.
You know, think
Absolutely.
think about what you are letting go of, the hurt, the
Mhm.
pain, and all this stuff. And think about what God has for you, like you said, on the other side. There's purpose on the other side. There's joy on the other
Yeah.
side.
Yeah.
There's happiness on the other side. And it's not going to always be peaches and
Mhm.
cream, sunshine and rainbows and all that stuff. But it's worth it. And you'll be able
Yes,
to
ma'am.
spend that time with God and walk in your purpose and love on yourself. Like get to know who you are.
Mhm.
Get to know who God called you to be. So yeah, that
Absolutely.
was awesome. Yeah, that was awesome.
Absolutely. Don't
That was
be afraid. I think that the process can be intimidating because people don't want to be
mhm.
hurt. People
Yes.
don't want to go without.
Hmm.
People don't want to experience discomfort. We don't want to be by ourselves,
Yeah.
So I think that a lot of times we're intimidated by the process. But like I said, the process is where you get made and molded. Like just imagine not having to fake being that person or not having to fake living that life, but you're actually living that life. It's because you allowed process, right, to groom you for that and get you ready for that. I know you think that you're ready, but baby, there's layers to this. You know what I mean? Like you got to go through process. Don't like face it head on. Don't keep running from it. Face it head on. Yes, you're going to spend some nights alone. Yes, you're going to have to go in your secret closet and pray every morning or every night or however many times a day that's necessary. Like, yes, you're going to have to go without. Yes, you're going to have to spend some time alone. Yes, you're going to be, rejected by some people and miss out. And yes, you're going to have to disconnect from certain friends. Yes, you're going to have to put up boundaries. It's uncomfortable. It's just uncomfortable, but we have to do it. Like process is so necessary. It's uncomfortable, but it's necessary.
Yeah, it's definitely necessary. And I'm telling you, it's the I mean, God told Abraham to go to a place where he did not know of. But the thing about
Hmm.
that is he didn't leave him with nothing. Like he directed his path. So God's not gonna call you out of something and not gonna back you up.
Right, right.
We just gotta be there to take the step. The hardest step
Mhm.
to take most times is the first one.
It's the first one. Yep.
Yeah, especially when it's uncomfortable and you're so used to something. But I'm telling you, there is so much joy on the other side of that. There's so much
Yeah.
peace,
Hmm.
on the other side of that. So if you're a woman, you are struggling with letting something go, just let it go. And it's not gonna be easy. You just gotta be willing just to trust God and be obedient, because He loves us. He doesn't want us to hold on to things that doesn't serve us. We are His
Absolutely.
daughters and we are His little girls, and He loves us so much, and we
Yeah.
deserve to be loved like God,
Hmm.
loves us. A
Exactly.
man who loves you just like Christ loved the church. And the thing is that we hold on to the things that we want, but
Hmm.
what are the things that we think we need. But I'm telling what God has for us is so
So
much
much
greater.
better.
And the thing
Yeah.
is, and you're missing out, on
Hmm.
true love, or you missing out on have holding on to that thing. I mean, there's so much joy and peace and love, and
Yeah.
it's amazing. It's amazing. I
Hmm.
know when I decided to let go, it was a process. It's
Hmm.
not. You just don't make the decision and you like, okay, it's a process. You have to let
Yeah.
go a little bit at a time. And in a blessing out of it is that God is right there with us when we decide
Hmm.
to let go. He doesn't
Absolutely.
leave us. He holds our hands. He just wants,
Hmm.
he just wants us to trust him and and next time just to allow God, the next man,
Hmm.
make him go through God for you. Cause I know me. I know me gotta go through, but it's a
Yeah.
blessing. It's a
Yeah.
blessing. I know I know a lot of women's hurt and they stay in situations because they think that that's what they want, but they gotta really consider, is this potential or is this reality? Because we hold
Hmm.
so much on to potential. And the thing is that what if they never get there?
And that's why it's so important to learn how to separate the real from the fake. Like
Yes.
how I mentioned earlier, and you just mentioned right now, just making sure that you're looking at the reality versus the potential.
Yes. Hmm.
You can't just look at the potential. Yes, there are things that is acceptable. Like it's
Hmm.
acceptable for you to think as like, okay, potential there.
Yeah.
But really that's not potential. That might be compromise. You know what I mean?
Yes. Oh
We
yeah.
all have to compromise, and especially in a healthy relationship, a healthy marriage.
Hmm.
But there's a difference. You know what I mean? So make sure that you're just being brutally honest with yourself and you're looking at the difference between potential and your reality and ask yourself, what if they never make it to potential?
Yeah.
Is the
That's
core
good.
of this person who I really want to be with?
That's good. That's good. That is so good. Do you have any last thoughts, anything you want to leave them with, or anything else you want to say? Anything you got going on that you want to talk about?
Oh my goodness. I think that I just want to highlight the fact that go through your process.
Mm.
I want to highlight that again. Go through your process. Yes, it's going to hurt, but go through your process. It's so worth it. I actually have on a sweatshirt right now that says being healed is worth the pain. And
Oh,
it's
that's
so true. Being healed, it really is worth the pain because
mm,
if you just, kind of put on your big girl panties, strap
yeah,
up your boots, and just allow God to work it out,
yeah,
go through what you need to go through, allow God to work it out. It's so much better on that other side, and just have tunnel vision. Have
yeah,
tunnel vision. Have tunnel vision. Don't look to your left, don't look to your right. Have tunnel vision. Look straight ahead. Keep your eyes on the promise. Journal,
yes,
pray a whole lot. Journal your prayers. If you have a hard time articulating and verbalizing your prayers, I encourage you to write down your prayers. I need deliverance from. Write a list. God,
mm-hmm.
I'm angry today. God, I'm feeling lonely today. God, I'm depressed today. Like, be very, very transparent and open with God. And that's something that has definitely gotten me through, like in my relationship with him. Like, I tell him straight up how it is. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever I'm feeling, whether I'm feeling angry, whether I'm feeling hungry, what not hungry, horny, whether I'm feeling,
Mm-hmm.
what I mean, like I'm ready to fight, whether I'm feeling
Yeah,
depressed, sad, like whatever the case may be, I express that openly to God, because at the end of the day, he knows all and he understands
yeah,
all. There's no earthly feeling, there's no earthly emotion that he doesn't understand. And so he is your best friend. So just strap up your boots and do what you got to do in this season. This season will not last always, and the sooner
mm,
you surrender and say
yes,
yes to
yeah.
God and say yes to the process, the sooner you can get to that other side.
That's so good. That's good. That's good. So, do you have anything going? Anything that we need to look
Oh
out
yeah,
for
you
from
did ask
you?
me that. You did ask me that. Well, I mean, as I mentioned, I am going through cosmetology school and I should be graduating by February. And around that same time, I'm going to release my third book. It is well, I'm guessing it to be the final part of the three-part trilogy. The series I'm Not Married But I Pray for My Husband, and this one is
Mhm.
I Got What I Prayed For, Now What? What
Mhm.
happens when your marriage doesn't go as planned? And so that's definitely going to be juicy. I still got my hair growth oils going. I'm going to
Mhm.
relaunch my website. It's on Amazon, so if you just search my name, Kimya Walton, or no, if you search Kimya Walton for the second book, but Kimya Irving for the first book, um, my books are on there. Like, I'm trying to straighten all of that out
Yeah.
and just get everything on my website. So just kind of look out for me. March, I'll be launching and just kind of pushing everything that's been like on the back burner
Yeah.
forward.
Yeah, I got your first book and it is bomb. Okay.
Thank
So excited.
you.
But thank you so much, sis, for coming in. I enjoyed this conversation and I'm so
Thank
excited for what
you.
God has for you. Your process and seeing you go through it has been amazing. Thank you so much for all the encouragement that you've given me
You're
on the
so
side.
welcome.
So
You're
I
so
love you,
welcome.
sis.
I love you.
All right, have a good night.
You too.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, y'all. So season 2, episode 1 has concluded. So excited. So yeah, I'm excited. So yeah, I'll leave you with this. So, just take the advice, ladies, that you were given tonight, and just know that God has greater in store for you. And even if it did not turn out the way that you hoped, it is okay. It is okay. God is with you. Be encouraged. Love yourself. um get to know who you are, but the hardest step to take is the first step. But I promise you, once you take that step, you will be amazed. I mean, God is able to do exceedingly and abundantly any above anything that you can think or ask. So I hope and I pray that this something that either Kamaya or I said will encourage you. I love you all. Season episode 1 has concluded. God bless y'all. Love y'all so much. Thank y'all for tuning in. Bye.